Hello again, everyone. It's the grand finals of the Newell Spring Rocket League Championships. But first of all, a shout out to our sponsors, the world's best selling gamer gear from Logitech G. And if you're after the student accommodation in 25 different cities with free cancellation, Unite students are your people to go to. They're our sponsors for tonight. Orion is still here. Hello, Orion.
Yes, I am still here, and we have now reached a conclusion, which will either be one best of 7, or if Loughborough win this best of 7 upcoming right now, we will be going to another best of 7 to decide who will actually be victorious in this Newell playoff bracket.
Yes, and of course, we just saw that series before. Loughborough did indeed take down Warwick to reach this final stage of the competition in a 4-1. We thought that Warwick might have had it in them to take the series, but they did in the end fall, despite looking so strong throughout this playoffs bracket.
Yeah, they did look great in the playoffs bracket, but as you say, you know, Loughborough, and especially playoffs Loughborough, you can never really bet against them, although I don't know, I'm inclined to here. Salford, as we heard, you know, that you said that they've beaten them in the previous 4 series. Stam said that they'd slowly been clawing the games back, and their previous meeting was 4-3. So yeah, they're getting close, or closer I should say, and we'll now see how or if they can turn the tide and start beating this Salford team when it matters the most.
And this is a side that they've had to play before in playoffs and beat them, of course. Salford not playing with what I think is their strongest lineup, but I think we allow it. It's still a solid team. Aaron and Camo are still both very competent players, arguably at the top of their game, and it is Aaron replacing Camo this evening.
Yeah, Aaron, whatever you want to call him, is coming in to replace Camo this evening. So I don't know. I don't even really want to call it a weakened Salford roster because, you know, as we heard Stam saying, that Aaron is a great player. Like he doesn't so much play competitively as much as he once did, but you know, he is still a very or a big presence in this Salford side.
Almost certainly, all 4 of those players are definitely capable of forming a 3-man roster among themselves. I suppose that's one advantage they do have over Loughborough, is that they do have 4 players which are definitely on the same level, while Loughborough, they do have a sub, but it's like they really want to have their full roster at all times, and they can only really use a substitution in the early stages of the tournament if they absolutely have to.
Yeah, as you say, Loughborough sticking with their main roster, but yeah, Salford bringing in that sub. So I definitely think it'll be interesting. I think when I mentioned that it wasn't the, you know, main Salford roster, I think Stam maybe didn't really let on, but yeah, I think that gave him kind of a little bit of a confidence boost, and I imagine that Loughborough will be feeling the same way. You know, even if they know that Aaron is a good player, it's still kind of the mental game of you know, having that substitute and potentially just that kind of slightly weakened team that might allow Loughborough just to gain a bit of confidence going into this series.
And one thing I am going to draw attention to is that I don't think I've ever seen this roster, this particular composition that Camo played together before. In the regular season, I believe it was something like Camo, Art, and Kizza. But of course, they've been shuffling it around throughout playoffs. Kizza's on production tonight. Jiggy has been promoted and moved around, and so tonight we have this roster of Aaron, Art, and Jiggy. I'm just really curious about how they're going to do right now, because you know, first time together, there's going to be some nerves. It's a very high pressure situation, a lot of money on the line, and of course the prestige of winning, the celebration of a year of, well, those awkward lockdowns and finally being able to come together for this event. We're currently having some difficulties with the server, which is why there's an awkward pause. What we think has happened is we were testing a lobby before, and we've all left. So it's tried to shut that one down, but when we try to create a new one and join, it's trying to join us to the old one. So yes.
Oh, well,
we're just gonna leave that for a bit. I suppose we can talk about the previous weeks of this playoffs bracket, or perhaps even some of the results from further down the bracket. Did you catch the Division 2 bracket last night, Orion?
I did not. Were there any major upsets in that bracket, or was it business as usual?
It's hard to say, because Birmingham and Durham do have their situation where both of them have 2A teams, and we can never decide which is which. So lower bracket was the Birmingham B team. That's Birmingham Beavers. Facing off against, I think it was Bristol, Too Good for Team 2. And that was a 4-1 or a 4-2 game. And then there was the finals, of course. In all the other brackets, instead of playing with a bracket reset, they are played instead with a game advantage. So Birmingham started one game down. They came back to win that series after dropping the first game from 2-0 down. So yeah, Birmingham winning that bracket overall and becoming the 9th place team in Europe.
That's pretty huge for Birmingham, to be honest. Then, like, they have had kind of some up and down results this season. Like, they're a very good team. They're just kind of a little bit inconsistent, I would say, is their main issue. But yeah, that's a great result for them, especially after I believe they lost to Bristol in the sister competition in those second division playoffs.
Yeah, so Bristol, the two Birmingham teams and the two Durham sides have all been very, very close throughout all the competitions this season. Just so happens that only two of them, that is one of the Birmingham teams and one of the Durham teams, actually made it to European competition, but they've all been in Newell, they've all been fighting it out, and it was Birmingham's second team, in air quotes, that came out on top. We can have another rundown of the bracket, I guess. We do have that graphic available. So Loughborough, they've actually been on a 3-series winning streak, at least in Newell, to get here. Of course, they dropped that one game against Salford in the upper bracket. They went 16-1 for the entire season up to that point. They're now up to 19-1. That's a record. That's a 95% win rate, far higher than Salford. but of course Salford changed up their roster as we headed into playoffs and became so much more dominant. They're coming into this with a 3-series win streak and only 1 game dropped across those 3 series.
Yeah, one team that I want to talk about in the bracket actually is Staffs, who didn't really look too great this whole season. They definitely, I would say, fell off in performance relative to the winter split, but they lost 4-0 to Salford, which is expected, really. You know, Salford making this grand final. They also lost 4-0 to Loughborough in losers round 3, but to make it there, they beat the UEA Blue Jays 4-1, which is quite a big result. You know, UEA, they've definitely...
Last season's finalists as well.
Yeah, last season's finalists, exactly, in both competitions. So yeah, UEA haven't had the best season either, really, underperforming slightly. But yeah, Staffs beating them 4-1, that's a huge result for them. And then getting that 4-3 over the Arctic E-Boys from the University of Liverpool, who looked so good all season. That is a major upset, but thankfully the upsets stopped there, at least if you're a Loughborough fan like I know you are, Sigmoid. And it was Loughborough that then advanced into that losers final, which we just saw, where they beat Warwick's A team. And now we find ourselves in the grand finals. 1 best of 7 if Salford win this, and they will be victorious in the Newell Spring split. If Loughborough win, then we go to a 2nd best of 7. If Salford win that, victorious. And then if Loughborough win that 2nd one in a row, which sounds crazy, but you know, Loughborough, I'm sure that they're capable of doing that. If Loughborough win that 2nd one in a row, then Loughborough will be victorious. So everything on the line for both of these teams. It has all come down to this.
It does indeed. Just another... I'm slightly confused as to what's going on. I think this is still the practice lobby.
Yes.
I'm very confused. Yeah, we just had like a second countdown there in game, so I got slightly caught off guard. Yeah, talking more about this bracket, I think we've almost exhausted this bracket now. I guess all we can really say is props to Essex as well for making that low round of 6, upsetting UWE in a 7-game series as well. You know, going the distance requires a lot of energy, and clearly Essex brought it. A side known for riding on their emotions as well, able to overcome their curse of choking in the final games of series. And
yeah, Essex do have that bit of a curse, don't they, of final series in games. But it seems like that they've ironed out those mistakes now and are starting to win them. I definitely recall that in EURC in the past week or so, that they had a game, I believe it was a game 5 win, potentially even in overtime as well. So that was a big result for them. So I think Essex, I don't believe any of them are graduating, I'm pretty sure. So definitely one to watch out for next split.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious about Switch. I think he might be the person that's closest to it, but the other two, as far as I know, are fairly young.
Yes. Yep, I think Switch maybe is in his 2nd year. I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm just glad I can call you all boomers because I'm just a wee fresher. But, you know, that I'm not the only one in that scenario. Stamina is literally 2 months older than me, and Crimson is also a fresher. So, you know, got a few years left in this Loughborough side. Of course, Matt departing may put a spanner in the works.
Yeah, potentially, but I know that the rumour mill is very active about who may or may not be playing for Loughborough next season. I've even heard an outside shout that apparently Jack might be at Loughborough next season. Is that correct, or is he still too young?
I have not. He's still 2 years off, and he does not have to come to Loughborough University if he doesn't want to. I'm sure we will win just fine without him.
Well, going into this matchup, maybe we should do a bit of prediction here. I want a winner and a series score from you, Sigmoid.
You're forcing me to go first.
Yeah.
I mean, I am wearing the hoodie. I kind of have to side with Loughborough on this one. I think Loughborough are going to take it, and I've been saying for a long while, I think it's going to be a best of 7 if they do.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a best of 7, but which game do you think it'll go to?
Game 7. Game 7.
Okay.
I did remember that we do have 2 series. So we could be in a scenario where we have to make a second set of predictions later on. So,
or we could do it right now.
We could do it. If Loughborough win the first, I think Salford claps a bit. Second one's going to be like 4-2, 4-1 Loughborough. I'm gonna side on the edge of 4-1.
So your prediction is a game 7 in the first series, bracket reset, 4-1 Loughborough.
Yeah.
Okay.
All wrapped up by about 10:15.
Difficult. Very difficult to make a prediction. I think that the thing that's difficult. No, I think the thing that's difficult for me is Aaron. If he is on form and really, doing well and working well with this team, I think Salford can take this 4-2. I reckon we go 2-2, and then Salford take 2 on the bounce and win the series, and we don't go bracket reset.
That sounds like a very familiar story to me. I'm just going to pipe down.
If Aaron is not on his A game, then I think your prediction could come to fruition here. And we're going to see if it comes to fruition as the players are in the lobby. This is your grand final for the Newell Spring split, and here we go.
Well, it's a strong early start from Matt M until he's elected to fake that ball, try to trick the Salford defense into thinking he was going to try and put that ball somewhere other than where it was already going, which was the back of the net. Didn't work. Salford on offense now. Crimson trying to pick this one up, interrupted by Jiggy. Matt M now diving in, trying to help up, trying to get a second touch past Aaron, but can't get that one through. Is just going to bump him out the way. Matt M back on it now. Blocked by Arton. Stamina picking this one up. Needs to be taking the aerial early, but he's so low on boost. Just goes for a weak tap and then leaves it. Jiggy trying to play that one through.
Here comes Matt looking for a flip reset. Might not even need it here. Just going to touch that one off the backboard down to himself, and it gets the double touch to start things off here. Aaron with a huge miss on the back line, committing as third man. Going to gift Loughborough their first goal here.
That they are 4 minutes and 15 seconds in Loughborough. I think this is the first time in a long time we've actually had a lead, or rather the opening goal in a series against Salford. They struggled significantly in their 6-game series in EURC. I think they had similar woes in their NSE game earlier on, and now they've finally rised up, broken the curse, and they're looking for a second right now unless Aaron can cut it off. It's not great clear. Stamina's going to pick that one up, play it towards the centre. Arton on the back line, passing it back out. Matt M put it back into the mixer. Crimson to the backboard. It's slow. Stamina's in a good place to try and shoot. Just going to have to leave that one. Didn't have the angle on it. Matt M also missing. Salford actually getting pressured out of the play right now.
Yeah, and Salford really getting away with it there. Loughborough just continued to shoot backboard after backboard, and it almost came back to bite them there as Arton tried to roll one into that far right-hand corner. Not able to find the net that time, and Loughborough, they were well and truly beaten on defense there.
Yeah, almost a goal as well. If that one hadn't come off the post, it would have been a for-sure equaliser for Salford, but they still sit 1 goal down with 3 minutes left. I'm just thinking right now, Loughborough, I think they've got the opening game against Salford before, but it's going to be so useful to them in a long series like this. Aaron really taking his time over this one, actually just going to end up giving it to a Loughborough player anyway, and that's a second for Loughborough for the first time, I think. No, they have actually had a 2-goal lead before. They did take a game 5-2 against Salford the other day, but it's definitely a rare occasion where so early in the game, Loughborough have had a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, that was quite silly, really, to be honest. Like, Aaron letting the ball roll that far towards his net was just inviting Loughborough to come and pressure them, and in the end it did come back to bite them. So I
think the dilemma he had was his teammates weren't close enough for him to try and get a pass out or anything, so he had to keep waiting, and then it almost became a case of I need my teammates to rotate back for me to do anything here. And then the touch he finally got at the very end was in the general direction of his teammates, but Loughborough had also pushed up in that time, which ultimately led to their demise in game number 1.
Yeah, maybe a bit more of a breakdown in communication rather than a individual error there from Aaron, but it is going to result in a goal and a 2-0 lead now for Loughborough in game number 1. Oh my goodness, that shot was almost fired on target by one of the Salford players there. I don't even know how that angle existed with that touch, but it's almost put onto net. Arton with a crucial demo there could put Loughborough on the back foot for the time being. Here comes Aaron, but dunked away by Stamina, and back to square one once more for Salford.
Indeed, Jicky now trying to drive through. He's over everyone, but it's off the post again.
Oh, what a
and I think
miss!
that's another Salford player they've just totally missed. And I think Matt trying to create some space for himself for a goal. Crimson going to play that one through. And off what should have been a for-sure goal for Salford, Loughborough have extended their lead to 3.
Oh wow, Salford, they fell to pieces. I don't even know who took that shot, but it just went unbelievably high. Like, the net was wide open, begging.
And it was Jicky coming down with the air dribble. I mean, fair enough, that one was off target. He got it pretty close. I mean, Arton absolutely skied it.
Yeah. Oh my god, is that one going to go in? Oh, off the post. Arton Crimson has jumped for it. Stamina trying to recover. Can Aaron get the shot on target? It's off the bar. Salford, they're not finding any luck right now.
They can't finish right now. It's a total opposite of their winners semi-final game, where it ended up being a 4-0 win for Salford, and Loughborough just couldn't find a goal almost at all. I think they managed to get a couple towards the end of the series, but they were just finding the woodwork every time. Stamina now looking for another, got 2 touches, but couldn't find the target. Now 33 seconds. It's going to take a monumental effort from Salford to bring this back in game number 1 and to avoid this embarrassing 3-goal defeat.
Yeah, and it's not even like Loughborough are, you know, in control. It's just more that Salford are completely out of control. Like, it just doesn't seem like they're clicking right now. They're not on the same wavelength, and they really need to sort that out here. They have so long to do that.
Aaron and Arson were looking to try and clip on Loughborough, and they just couldn't find the final piece. They couldn't find any connection to get it to each other. Both ended up committing off the backboard. The only reason they've got a goal here is because Aaron decided to stick around at the last minute and flick that ball towards a target, which was a speedy shot, if I do say so.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what they need to do, just kind of play that disruption. We saw how well Treefort was playing in that previous series, where he was just running rings around Loughborough. He was only able to keep it up for a short amount of time, but if every player on Salford is doing that, then Loughborough, I do know that they can be a bit prone to turtling up on defense, and their defense sometimes, if they're a bit nervous and a bit panicky, they do kind of get the jitters and start to break down on defense. So Salford, I think they have it in them, and thankfully for them, they not only have one best of 7 to overcome Loughborough, but they have 2. So plenty of time to figure out, what is going wrong, what we need to do better in order to win the series ultimately.
I think that extra time will prove useful to them. Of course, that's if we need it, because Loughborough have won the first games of series against Salford before, and then just tanked 2 or 3 games in a row before finally finding their feet again. They almost get too comfortable, I feel, in a situation like that. They turtle up on defense, like you mentioned, and they just have to avoid that right now if we're going to get a real foothold in this series.
Absolutely. As we go into game 2 now, Loughborough winning that first game with a 3-goal cushion. Salford, well, I was going to say they were yet to score. I momentarily forgot about that goal that was scored on 3 seconds, but you would say that was merely a consolation goal, as Loughborough, they knew that they had won the game at that point, so a little bit of overconfidence just pushing up was punished by Salford. But yeah, no real kind of conviction just yet from Salford.
Jicky, what? What? Okay, Crimson's just going to reshot here. Has missed, but Salford just had no idea what they were doing on defense there whatsoever.
No, Salford did not look like Salford then at all. Like, I think we have both seen Salford at their best, and right now this is far from it. Just a complete breakdown in communication on defense. They're almost gifted Loughborough a goal, and I'm sure that won't be the last time that we see that happening, as just a lack of complete coordination right now from Salford. Interestingly, Aaron has changed car. I believe he might have been in the Fennec in the previous game, is now on the Octane, and I think this means that we have a full Octane lineup, which we don't see that much.
That's not going to last
anymore.
long. Crimson and Matt can both change it up on a whim to the Fennec if they want to. They have done when I've watched them before. I think they're in danger now, though. Stamina having to pinch that off his back, but Matt M bumping Jiggy out the way to prevent any mishaps on defense. Oh dear, Matt's played that one backwards. It's awkward for Loughborough once again. Salford keeping the ball in the box of Loughborough right now.
Yeah, a bit dangerous for Loughborough at the moment, but Salford not really getting any clear-cut opportunities from that mistake. Still dangerously in that corner. Loughborough still not able to clear their lines at the moment, and with not much boost. Stamina finally getting one out, but it's only as far as Jiggy, but Stamina on the second touch is able to dunk that one out, and Crimson sending it into the corner, transitioning onto offense. Loughborough. Here comes Matt M looking for the double tap. That one's going to work his way all the way down. Matt M could have found it, but Jiggy was there, just putting his car in the way of that top corner.
I think
Jiggy's
no very
boost on the backboard though. Yeah, he had absolutely no boost. Arton is forced to just touch this one over to Aaron, and Jiggy with a miss there might allow Loughborough to stay on offense here. It's Matt M over to that side. Arton, no boost to follow that for the double tap. It just seems like on both sides at the moment, once a team gets so far up, they're just running out of boost and aren't able to continue that offensive pressure.
That's really why you've got to be careful when you're running the length of the pitch. I'm sure everyone thinks they've had a good opportunity at some point, and it's ended up backfiring because they get very close. They expend everything their teammates are pushing up to because they think it's a foreshore goal, and then at the last second, one of the opponents dive in, make a miracle save, and all of a sudden you've got no one back to get the block. And that's what a situation that both these teams have very almost found themselves in. Not just in this game, but I feel like a couple of times over the course of the series.
Yeah, definitely. But Salford, they haven't looked very, it still looks like they haven't quite found their composure just yet. Stamina going to look for a flip reset, but
I don't think he got the flip.
No, I don't even think he got the flip. I think you're right. But oh, wait a minute, Loughborough, they left themselves wide open here. Can Jiggy turn this one in?
Oh,
is it off the post?
Again.
It is off the post. Matt M has missed it, but nobody from Salford wanting to commit there. Whether they thought it was in or Loughborough had an easy clear off the post there. But oh, you've got to go for those Salford.
System aiming slightly to the left all evening thus far. And I think, no, Aaron is there. This shouldn't be a goal. This shouldn't be a goal. Okay, it's not a goal. Jiggy gonna carry this one away to the side, away from danger. And with a minute left, it's still all to play for in game number 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, despite Salford still looking quite uncomfortable, they have managed to keep it scoreless here as we tick down to less than 1 minute on the clock, although they do find themselves on the back foot at the moment. That one dropping down is going to be difficult to deal with, but Jiggy over to the side, into the corner, away from danger. Crimson with a drop down and is able to dunk that one into the net. Finally, we have an opening goal, and it's come at the worst possible time for Salford with only 38 seconds left to find an equaliser.
This now is very dangerous for Salford. This is a position they have never been in a playoffs game. They are about to go 2 games down unless they can make miracles happen here. Arton playing that one off the backboard, but Stamina's going to get a huge block. He's actually got that ball all the way down to the opposite end. Salford not quite able to, Loughborough rather, not quite able to finish the job off that occasion. 20 seconds though. If no goals are scored, Salford going to be 2-0 down in this series for the first time in any playoffs game this season.
Yeah, which would be a real turnout for the books, but I think it would be deserved, to be honest. Loughborough haven't looked amazing, but Salford, they've just been beating themselves here, and Loughborough could have put in their second quite easily there as the ball hit 0 seconds. So I am very, very worried for Salford right now. I said right at the start that my prediction was if Aaron was really on form then, and the team was on form, then Salford probably could have had this in the bag in the first best of 7, but they're making it really difficult for themselves.
Frustrating me. It's like they're playing great, And then it's just like, oh, Arten's going to sky the ball miles high over the net. Here we go. Jiggy's going to find a shot which is going to land on the near post. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times in 2 games, he's hit the left post.
Yeah, might need to take a quick break for some repairs to that post, put the scaffolding up and straighten it out as you say, Jiggy has just clattered that post several times now. So the shooting just not quite there from Salford, and I believe that they are still yet to score.
In any useful context, yeah, they got that consolation goal.
Yes. So, yeah.
They've scored once in dead time. It's not been looking great. When they should have had like 4 goals, realistically. They could have won game 1. They definitely should have won game 2.
And that one probably should have gone in as well.
Yeah, this is not looking great for Salford. I don't think they're looking for the content. I think they're just genuinely having some struggles right now. With Stamina fires that one towards the near post. Can't quite tuck it in though, is deflected away by the Salford defense. Crimson looking for a follow-up at central, but no one from Loughborough quite there to try and finish the job off.
Yeah, it's just hanging in the midfield right now. Matt M not able to get there with the pre-flip at the near post. It's just chaos on the side at the moment. No real rotation being respected by anyone. It's just every man for himself, and woman I should say, for herself, as Stamina going to send this one high into the midfield. One double commit from Loughborough now, looking a little bit shaky. I thought I was watching Salford for a second there, and then realised that it was Matt M and Stamina going for that one. So, Jiggy has flipped past that one out and there to bail his teammate out on that occasion. Jiggy back up for it now, just keeping it in the midfield. Just a real war going on in that midfield at the moment.
Yeah, both teams scrapping for that ball. Of course, Jiggy has been winning that ball a couple of times and has been making a real dent. His mechanics are something to be reckoned with, but so are Crimson's, and she's able to beat him out on this occasion.
That was an interesting flip reset from Aaron there. Not actually going to have any effect or do anything apart from just give the ball to Stamina, but I guess it was a decent idea. You know, when you have that flip, it is kind of advantage to the person. Oh, Crimson! Oh, I thought she had missed the final shot, did the hard part, but then thankfully managed to do the easy part. Just backs away from that ball, baits in Aaron, net wide open for Crimson to roll that one into.
That looked so rude as well, just landing on top of the ball, tapping it to the left, and then able to get the cut back around. Loughborough back on offense again here. Crimson going to try and play this one through. Can't beat out Aaron, but Aaron is very awkward. Matt M going to challenge, force that for midfield. Can't beat out Jiggy though.
Yep, opening goal once more in favour of Loughborough, though. That was a bit of a weak shot from Aaron. Not really going to challenge Stamina on that one. And Loughborough, you know, they'll be watching how Salford are playing as well. And you heard Stamina in the interview talking about confidence, and they go into every game, despite the opposition, with the confidence that they, and the belief that they can win that series. And, you know, when you've got opponents that aren't looking so hot, it really does kind of instill that belief in you that, you know, these guys are definitely beatable. You know, we've got that composure that these guys don't, and we can definitely overcome them here.
Aaron now going to play this ball through. He's got it past a lot of people, but Matt M comes in. He's swinging from the near post, gets that tap out to the side, and Loughborough are going to keep this goal lead at the 2-minute mark. Arten now playing this back out, reaches Jiggy. It's a weak touch from Stamina. Aaron's going to look to take the shot, but Matt M with a block has bought enough time for his teammates to return to the goal.
Yeah, Matt M coming up clutch there. He was getting chased by Jiggy, looking for a bump or a demo. Was able to work around that and still get the block as well, keeping things at 1-0 here and keeping Loughborough in front, crucially. Stamina going to get demoed though. Aaron starting to go with these demo plays, which he is pretty notorious for, to be honest. We didn't see it much in the first 2 games, but he definitely is a demo heavy player. And Salford, they are going to equalise here after a bit of aggression, as look to put the cat amongst the pigeons for Loughborough.
Yeah, that was a massive passing play as well. Salford linking up really for the first time, and that was like a 3-man passing play. I think I think it was Jiggy getting that ball over to Arson, tapped it left to Aaron, who managed to drop it back into the midfield for Arson at the very end there. All 3 players linking up to get past Loughborough, well, meaningfully for the first time. Although it may not matter at all, Crimson are just going to feed that one into the far post and score a second goal for Loughborough.
Yeah, that's an excellent heads-up play there from Stamina, not opting to go for the shot, instead putting it right. And I think, I didn't see who was in defense, it might have been Jiggy, unsighted on Crimson's position there, and she is just going to tuck that one straight past him.
Matam. It's going to have a neutral 50 against Jiggy. Aaron's not able to follow up. Crimson pushing this ball out, should have a second. Can't get it past Jiggy though, and Aaron's there to capitalize. Arton trying to pick on Matam upfield. He's not going to be able to get a meaningful bump. Stamina now forcing this ball through. Can he pick it up again? No, he can't. Matam going to follow up though. Doesn't beat out Aaron. And Jiggy should be able to play the ball back to Aaron. Crimson going to cut him off though. Aaron now to sidewall. Stamina's waiting. That's a long one. It's to the backboard. Aaron. That's even bigger, going all the way. Crimson going to have to get up real high to play that one to the side. Ball now off the sidewall. Jiggy bumps Stamina, also gets in the way of the ball. And Stamina able to just dive straight back at the ball. 15 seconds between Loughborough and match point in series number 1 of the night. Matem firing the ball towards the target, trying to get the go-ahead goal for Loughborough. Art now trying to make a play out, can't find it. Ball drops back to Aaron. Going to make the play forward, but can't get the ball to Jiggy. 0 seconds has passed, the ball has hit the floor, and Loughborough, in what is a truly mad series, have found match points in Series 1.
Match point and sweep point and bracket reset point for Loughborough already. It's happened already, Sigmoid. I didn't expect this at all, but Salford, they just it hasn't felt like they've really got going. Maybe this game they looked a little better and a little more composed. It was definitely Loughborough beating Salford there rather than Salford beating themselves on that occasion. And now Salford, if they want to win this grand final in the first best of 7, they need to reverse sweep in this best of 7, which honestly, it seems impossible right now.
At this point, if I was Salford, I would actually just concede the next game, because you get like a decent chunk of break. You get to break down the previous series, and then you can hopefully go into the next series with a fresh mindset. If you play on, you try to mount a comeback, you start one, then get knocked back down, that's going to be a massive hit on the mental.
Yeah, it really is a good question. It's like, you know, do you lose and have it weighing over you going into the next series that Loughborough have just swept you, and now you have to play with them in a best of 7 again? Or do you try and gain some momentum back and just get a couple of games on the board and know that your opponents are beatable and that you can overcome them in games? Like, it's going to be a real kind of mental battle for Salford. I'm sure realistically they would want to win this game. You know, I don't think that they're just going to roll over and let Loughborough sweep them, but it is interesting that you say that.
Well, for being fed the ball like this, it becomes a little more dangerous. Arton almost finding the back of the net there. Jiggy, however, goes straight up, dead central, and that's an opening goal for Salford, the first of the series.
Yeah, 4th game, first opening goal for Salford. Loughborough weren't quite on the same wavelength on defense there, left a bit of a hole, but it was exploited very well by Jiggy. Shot didn't even need to be that good in the end, but planted it in the top shelf. That is a very good shot though. Jiggy again blocked out by Stamina this time. Matt M trying to take it around Art, and there's a demo. It's on to Stamina. So Loughborough a little bit weak at the back line at the moment, but Stamina respawning now should be able to coordinate that defensive effort. It's Jiggy trying to create something here. Arton was jumping for it, but has managed to recover and didn't double commit hard with his teammate there. And Salford, they're looking pretty good right now. I was
a little concerned by Loughborough just then, so they were given a lot of space, like a whole half of the pitch, and nobody pushed into it. Matt just dropped back, let the ball come to him. And if we don't have an aggressive, hard pressing Loughborough, then what Loughborough do we have? Because that's the one which has been winning games throughout the year. The one that has won every domestic competition available to them, bar the Society Showdown.
Yeah, Loughborough really need to not take their foot off that gas pedal. The second that they start to turtle up and kind of show Salford that they are playing a certain way, then I think Salford might start to, you know, just get a bit of adrenaline from that, you know, and start to pressure Loughborough. Whereas if Loughborough continue to play the way that they've been playing with that aggression and just all-out control in the midfield and on offense, then I think Salford, you know, they are at a real danger of being swept here.
Well, with that save coming through from Matt M, it does seem a little more likely. And another one coming through. That's a saviour medal now for Matt M. Arton going to try and make amends with this shot. Matt M with a second block, a third block even on this period on defense. Aaron now, last man back. Crimson looking for the demo, but she's not going to find it. Would have been a for-sure goal if she had a little more boost. But in the end, Salford still with the pressure and Loughborough still looking like the weaker side.
Yeah, they are looking like the weaker side in this game as two misses in a row come out. Aaron maybe trying to look for a teammate there, just staying in possession, getting a bit bumped here, and complete chaos on the Loughborough backline. Nobody with any boost able to make a meaningful play on the ball. Oh, Matt M went for the squishy save outside or inside to outside of his own crossbar there, wasn't able to make contact and has gifted Salford a second goal here.
There's definitely potential for reverse sweep here. It's gone the other way before with Loughborough reverse sweeping Salford, going back a couple years for that one. But of course, there's a long way to go before we even try to mention that. Crimson trying to beat Aaron in the corner. Ball's going to fall to Arton. Matt's up next. Matt wins it, but Aaron coming through once again. Loughborough now with the first sustained period of offense, and they're going to throw that ball away. Crimson just taking a 50, and Aaron with almost a full boost tank is taking this down the opposite end of the pitch.
Yeah, Loughborough trying to generate offense, but if they're being demoed when they do by Jiggy, they're not really going to be able to get that sustained pressure that we see so often employed by Loughborough, and probably the majority of their goals, I would say, comes from sustained pressure rather than counter-attacking or solo plays.
Matt now trailing the ball to the side, stand with the shot, but it's not going to go in. It was a close opportunity, but with 80 seconds left, Loughborough are going to need a repeat of that game 2 against Warwick if they're going to make anything.
Yeah, they are starting to heat up on offense now, though, as Stamina is going to take this one over to the side. Should have control of this ball going off the ceiling, able to get a touch, but not pinching across the face of goal as he would have hoped there. Crimson was waiting for that one, and she's able to get a dunk here, looking for a bump on Arton, but was avoiding that, and it is now Salford on the counter-attack, looking for their third here. Arton, I think, just got bumped out of the way of that one and wasn't able to take the shot in the end, but Loughborough there chasing 2 goals with 45 seconds left, and the ball is currently in their half. It is a 1v1 at the moment as Stamina gets blocked out by Arton, and I think Salford, they might have done enough here to prevent this sweep.
Stamina now playing it off the side wall. He's got a second opportunity, but that jump was angled away. He wanted to do it very quickly, but didn't have the positioning on the car really to deal with it properly. Loughborough, they've actually been really defensive all throughout this game. They've had 9 saves. They've blocked the vast majority of Salford's shots. They just haven't been able to finish it off. Salford, though, they've been blocking absolutely everything. Although, I think, no, there was an opportunity for Loughborough to get a consolation at the very end there, but that's just going to bounce off the crossbar and to the floor. Salford starting to bring this back to 1 and 3.
Yeah, definitely Salford starting to find some form now. Basically, their last possible chance. You know, we now go to a 3-1 in the series. Loughborough, they took the first 3, and Salford have now managed to prevent that sweep and bracket reset by Loughborough. So they're, you know, I think realistically this is good for Salford. You talked about that maybe it would be just better to kind of lose this game to Loughborough and then take that breather and go into the second series with a clean slate. But I am starting to think that it's probably better if Salford just try and get as much as they can out of this series. A reverse sweep still seems pretty impossible, given that it's a best of 7 against playoffs Loughborough. I think that would just be ridiculous if that were to happen. But yeah, they're trying to get as much of the series out of the series as they can and just kind of work out Loughborough's weak points as if they don't know them already. You know, these teams have played each other many times.
Say impossible. Salford say, tell me the odds, I dare you, because right now they're looking terrifying. Arton bullying the defense right now. Matt M coming through from the wrong direction to get any serious clear. I think it's been provided by an opportunity by Aaron here. He's going to get a couple of touches, force it out to the halfway line, but his teammates are just getting blown up in the meantime. Arton trying toward Crimson off that play, gets a demo with his own. It's looking very, very sketchy for Loughborough right now as they keep losing defenders all the time.
But Crimson there on that sidewall, just chasing Arton down, saying, you know what, if you want to do that, I can do it as well. Have some of this, and just deletes Arton from the pitch. But you can definitely see that Salford, they're trying to employ those aggressive strategies as, oh no, Matt M going for the save off his own post. Aaron, he didn't even really have an angle there, was able just to generate a little bit of power on that ball, and it completely caught Matt M off guard.
Yeah, Matt, it was a difficult save, I want to say, because of the angle it was coming from, the speed at which Arton was approaching. Didn't help, of course, that Crimson expected the ball to go high, and Aaron just played it low. Loughborough now going to have to try to come from behind for the first time this series if they want to make a comeback right now. They can do it. It's not huge. They've won by more than one goal in the past.
Yeah, they absolutely have, and you know, this is Loughborough we're talking about here, and they looked so good in the first 3 games. Arton there missing a ceiling shot, which was pretty scoreable. He put it on a plate for himself, but then just failed to do the easy part. But Salford, they finally look in control now, and they look very confident. Aaron especially is starting to play up to the standard that we would expect of him, and Loughborough are looking more and more uncomfortable as time goes on here.
Jiggy trying to switch up the play, but none of his teammates are there. Crimson should get the beat on Aaron here. Leaves Arton alone on the back line. That's a solid clear, though. Aaron with the doink, it's up high. Who's up? Crimson's up, but she's missed. Jiggy now feeding it back into the box. Crimson on the back. We're going to play that one to the side. Jiggy gets a demo on Matt M. Aaron going to follow through, pop it high, but I don't think there's going to be any further follow-up. The play starting to simmer back down as Salford need to gather some more boost.
Although Arton might have an opportunity here, actually gets dunked by Crimson. Here comes Matt M with a long shot. Is that one going to go all the way in? It's off the top corner. Salford scrambling, but actually able to coordinate themselves pretty well. Arton getting a fortunate touch there from Jiggy, which found him, and he was able to get clear. And now Aaron with the shot. It's bottom right, but saved by the Loughborough defense, keeping themselves in this game. But not for long.
That's an angle and a half from Arton. They've been finding them a couple of times now in this game. Salford starting to look like the team in control, and that was top corner as well. Superb placement for Arton.
Yeah, excellent shot coming out from Arton there. He is kind of I would say the dark horse of this team, a very mechanical player. We often tout Jiggy as being the mechanical player, as he does exactly that here, air dribbling it all the way to the back ball. But Arton as well is an excellent player. Looking for that angle again there, was just trying to get that little volley, or half volley I should say, off the sidewall, and the power he generated on it was incredible. But 2-0 now once more for Salford. Loughborough chasing, and oh my goodness, Aaron pinching it off his own crossbar to force that one out. I was just going to call that was a goal for stamina, but Aaron, absolute hero on the goal line.
It's never over until that ball's in the goal. Warwick almost made the grand finals last season, but KJ at the last second, the ball 95% of the way into the net, got a block, and UAE came back from there and almost tried to make a dent at the final. I think they actually got swept in that one.
That save was absolutely huge, and it is going to mean that Salford still have that 2-goal cushion as Loughborough continue to chase it. Jiggy is going to make that touch despite Matt M looking for a bump. It's now Loughborough trying to employ the strategies that Salford have been using against them. Matt M, is he going to get one here? No, that was definitely a scoring opportunity for Loughborough, but squandered by Matt M, not able to find it. Here we go, Crimson. No boost, no problem for Crimson as she sinks that double tap.
That's huge as well. 9 boost as she hangs there, uses it all there to make sure she get the balls high enough over Arten, who arguably has been the weaker looking player on the Salford side.
Yeah, which is interesting because we talked about Aaron coming in as that sub, but Arten, I've definitely seen him play better. He's by no means having a bad series, that's for sure, as Matt M could have put another one in there to tie things up here for Loughborough. Bear in mind, you know,
Salford looks shaken as well. That's a number of double commits in a row, and Crimson's looking for a second double tap. Aaron playing that one to the side, but Stamina should have a decent follow-up. It's a pass out to Matt M. It's off the backboard. Who's it going back to? Crimson's there, but the shot is going to go straight into a Salford defender.
I was going to say, bear in mind that any lead from Loughborough here is a series-winning lead here. And while it isn't, you know, the grand final decider, Salford, if they find themselves behind, they have to come back. So Loughborough really kind of have that trump card of, if we get into the lead against you, you have got a monumental task.
This clock going to tick down. Salford finishing the job off in game number 5, bringing it back to 3-2. Loughborough starting to run out of chances now. Maybe the pressure's going to start to get to them a little.
Yeah, but that game definitely felt like a game of two halves. Salford with 2 early goals, but Loughborough throughout the whole game, they actually outshot Salford. Stamina had quite a quiet game, not even breaking into the 100 points threshold there. So I think if we see Stam start to step up as his teammates are doing as well, then I think Loughborough can definitely overcome this little hurdle that's been presented to them by Salford. But if Salford flip the switch and continue with this momentum, their shooting form as well has been pretty incredible in the previous 2 games. And Loughborough, you know, they need to win this next game, otherwise we're looking at a game 7 here.
I have no faith in Loughborough winning game 7 after having lost 3 in a row. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous. I said, you know, at 3-0 that a reverse sweep looked impossible, but with each game, Salford are proving that to be more and more possible. We now stand at a 3-2 scoreline with Salford winning the previous 2 and Loughborough continuing to search for an answer to these questions that are being asked by Salford, and so far they haven't managed to find them.
It is, however, like you said, though, the momentum was starting to swing back in Loughborough's favour towards the end of last game. If they can get an early one in here, not only is that a lead for them, but that's a completion of that momentum swing.
Yeah, definitely would be. Matt M might be able to get back to this one here. Doesn't have the flip and doesn't have any boost either. Arten is just going to send this one over the top, and Aaron with a bit of an awkward touch. Oh, Loughborough, they're just turtling up. Crimson did not want to go for that ball despite both of her teammates rotating in behind her. So starting to get a little bit worried for Loughborough now that they are losing a bit of confidence in this series, despite, you know, gaining some momentum. Here comes Matt M with a shot, but instantly blocked out by Arten. Crimson going to send this one over to the side, and Matt M up high. Stamina dropping down. Can Gigi get to this one? And it is in.
That's huge. Okay, so Crimson plays that up for Matt. I thought that was just going to be a nice, simple 1-2 towards the net. Instead, he manages to get it up to Stamina, who pops it over the last defender. It bounces down, and then Salford have no boost left. And like I said, it's an early goal. Salford have everything to do to maintain their spot in this series.
Yeah, although, a very close opportunity there. Matt M with last millisecond reactions, I should say, to keep that one out and keep Loughborough's lead. Salford, if they want to continue in this best of 7 and not go into that bracket reset series, they are going to have to score 2 goals in this game, whether that be in regulation or in overtime.
Yeah, that was a skill check and a half out from the Salford offense there. Matt M clearly had the skill to deal with it though, and he's coming back in here. Can't get the first touch, but he beats out Aaron. Crimson back to Stamina towards a target, but blocked by Arten at the last second.
Yeah, very well engineered play there by Crimson. Stamina, the 1-2. Arten just managing to read what was going on there at the near post and able to get that all important block in. But Loughborough, they look like they've got their mojo back now. They're connecting with each other very well, communicating very well. You can see that the confidence is back for them, and they're just going to have to keep that going now and put Salford on the back foot.
Arton just passed the ball straight out to Matem. He's trying to feed it through. He can't get a touch. Stamina's missed. Crimson, the last person back to Loughborough, able to handle it and buy them a little more time, able to hold the line just a little longer. Jiggy missing that bump though is going to prove costly. Stamina now winning the 50 against Arton's back on it. Can't beat Aaron, but Crimson is going to pick this one up on the side wall now. Fakes out Jiggy. That's a massive read. Jiggy is eventually going to force that one through though. Buys some time for Salford. 2.5 minutes gone. It's half time. Matem now teeing this ball up. Can't get it to himself, but Jiggy is awkward and he's low on boost. Crimson should beat him out easily here. The ball to the midfield, but can't be tapped by Matem. That ball, fortunately for Loughborough, is going wide.
Yeah, I think Stamina might have had it covered, but definitely a scary moment for Loughborough seeing that ball roll towards the net, and you know, you have that moment of, is it in, is it not? That one was definitely in. It was halfway in when it was saved off the goal line by Crimson. What a save that was, keeping her team in front there. 2 minutes left. Salford are chasing that equaliser. Maybe we could say they've got like half a goal on the board, shall we say, as that one was so close to going in.
I was talking with Matt at the very start.
Oh, Matt M, look at that.
The captain, the finalist, putting that one in. I was talking with him only a couple of months ago. They said they weren't going to take this season anywhere near as seriously as the last one. And yet now, in one of his last finals ever, potentially, he is showing up. He's making sure that he leaves everything on this field.
Yeah, that was a beautiful double tap from Matt. Absolutely textbook there. And Loughborough now, with that 2-goal lead, Salford really on the back foot here. They look rattled, more rattled than they have been in the previous couple of games, where they started to have their confidence back. And maybe a third from Crimson here. No, not going to happen this time, as with 1 minute and 17 on the clock, we are looking more and more likely that this bracket reset is going to be required.
That is so true as well. 60 seconds left. The only time tonight a 2-goal lead has been squandered was Warwick in that lower bracket against Loughborough. I don't think Salford are going to be able to return the favour particularly easily. Loughborough have been looking strong while they're ahead, and Matt M, that's almost a solid dunk onto Aaron there. It's actually going to fall back to Crimson, who's able to centre it. Matt M, waiting on the far post, is not going to go for it though. Knows that he just has to wait 40 seconds, stop 2 goals going in, and win this first series of the night.
Yeah, I was looking for a demo there. It was Jiggy just trying to create a gap in the defense. Speaking of gaps in the defense, there's a massive one, which is going to be filled by a shot from Matt M. And I think we can say it now, Sigmoid, despite that comeback from Salford, Loughborough, they have managed to regain their confidence, regain their mojo here, and we are going to go to another best of 7 bracket reset.
I mean, Aaron is looking to make a mockery of what you just said, Orion. 23
Not
seconds
happening.
left. So, did you see Bournemouth playing Kiel the other day?
I didn't, but wait, maybe I did. Maybe I was even casting that one.
I think you casted that one.
Oh god, my
So
memory's
you
failing
know,
me.
you know teams can score multiple kickoff goals. Loughborough just have to stop it happening right now. Crimson going up, getting this block, reducing the chances of that happening right now. Aaron is going to take his time going down the pitch. That's a demo onto both players in that interaction. 10 seconds, 2 required.
No way.
Arton's locking for it, but that touch from Stamina is going to slow the play down significantly. Matt M playing it across his goal line, very risky, but it seems to have paid off. 0 seconds, a 2-goal lead is impossible for Salford to come back in this series, and we will be coming back later for a bracket reset.
My goodness. Well, Loughborough have done it, and I think your prediction held pretty firm there. You said it would be 4-2, right, in the first series?
I said 4-3.
Oof, you were close.
4-2's pretty close. Yeah, I'll take it.
Very close. But yeah, wow, Loughborough, you know, they've done half the job, and they still have half the job left. And I mean, Salford, they got those 2 games. I think if Salford now can get the opening games I think we could see a different dynamic in the series, because Loughborough, when they were put on the back foot, they definitely looked rattled. It looked like they kind of had the wind knocked out of them slightly. So, man, this bracket reset is going to be insane, and I honestly can't predict it. It could swing either way.
Yeah, either way. And honestly, I think Salford, because they've warmed into this series, they look better towards the end. I think they'll be able to carry some of that momentum through into the second one. We'll be back after a short break for that bracket reset. See you later, everyone. ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the bracket reset of the Newell Spring Championship for Rocket League. Salford, they dropped that series 4-1 against Loughborough, and now Loughborough have to go once again if they want to take the crown. Ryan, you're joining me once again. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, I don't know. It really feels like it's got Game 7 vibes about it. I said that I couldn't predict last time, and I think, you know, when you're unable to make a prediction, you just kind of have to go with that Game 7 gut feeling. It kind of was back and forth the previous series. You know, Loughborough took 3 on the bounce, then Salford took 2 on the bounce, and then Loughborough took that final nail in the coffin. So whoever wins this next game, i.e. the first game of this best of 7 series, championship deciding series, is going to be absolutely huge.
That's so true as well. Of course, more than there's money on the line. This is pride, of course. The 2 largest, most dominant Lions teams, Loughborough Lions and the Salford Lions, going at it, and I'm definitely not wanting to let the pride down, either in Salford or Loughborough.
Well, we are gonna see here eventually, once we get into a server with these players, who will come out victorious. But I mean, what a season it's been. You know, we're at the end point now. We are one best of 7 away from knowing who the champions of this spring split will be. You know, we've probably had hundreds, maybe even thousands of series played this season, and yeah, now it's all come down to this.
And to think, yeah, it's just one that's going to decide it all right now. The clock's been ticking down for weeks. Frankly, I'm kind of sad to see it go. It's been nice to have some regularity on my Thursday nights, or at least that's when we're normally doing Rocket League. Just casting and watching teams, you know, form their storylines. Of course, we had Birmingham, the underdog side, with a roster change late in the season, went back to the roster, which seemed to be showing up everyone in winter, and it worked. They placed 9th, of course, mentioned their story before. Salford, a side which has been through iteration after iteration over the years, have finally found a formula which can take them over the line, and now they're in finals in multiple different competitions, and they might finally get their first win here tonight if they can win this series.
Yeah, it would be crazy. As you say, Salford, they've never actually been victorious in top tier university competition, and they could start out with their first win here, trying also to be victorious in the sister competition, I believe, waiting in the grand final at the moment in NFC as well, and it slips my memory how well they're doing in Europe at the moment, but I definitely know they're still alive and kicking.
Salford are alive and kicking, having taken down Loughborough on Monday night in the lower bracket round of 16 at the moment.
So yeah, Salford probably having their best ever season, I would say, in terms of all competitions, and also I believe this roster is sticking together for next season as well, which is quite scary. Yep, Jiggy, Arn, and Camo.
All not finalists. Aaron will be graduating, so they'll lose that crucial 4th man, their super sub. But you know, that's still a decent roster to be sticking together. Loughborough, very similar, losing Matt but keeping Crimson and Stamina for next year, and supposedly gaining some Grand Champion 3s according to some guy called Tylacto. I don't. Tylacto. I know. No, I've never seen him on a Newell broadcast.
No.
Are we sure he exists?
Yeah, not really sure who that is.
Was he one of your former teammates?
No, I don't think so. I think I would know that. But anyway, I guess this is a decent opportunity while we're teeing this series up to give another shout out to our sponsors on this Newell stream. We have Unite Students, who provide student accommodation in 25 cities in the UK with free cancellation. So if you're in need of some student accommodation going into next year, Unite Students could be the people for you. And then we also have Logitech G-Tech Series, the world's best-selling gaming gear.
Very thankful to have those sponsors around. It allows us to keep the stream, much like Loughborough's chances, alive and kicking. Referring back to Europe, Salford have Stuttgart in the lower bracket, which should be an absolutely incredible series. That's either taking place on Monday or Wednesday night next week. Really looking forward to that one. Of course, returning back to the Newell now, we can talk a little bit about that last series. Salford started to come back towards the end of that. Do you think they'll be able to hold that momentum?
It's a difficult one because it's not like they finished the series with momentum. It was definitely Loughborough that finished that previous series on the front foot, and they started the previous series on the front foot as well. I'm kind of expecting them to do the same here, and Salford having to fight back. So it will be a very interesting one. I think game one, in a best of 7, we talk about game ones not really deciding a lot, but I think in this one it will really kind of set the tone for the series and show, the both teams will have to show their hand quite early, I imagine. And yeah, I think game one, whoever wins that, we can then start to go from there and think about who is looking stronger coming into this series.
Indeed. Got another couple minutes to go before that series starts, of course. I can take another look back at the bracket, I suppose, in the meantime. There's a couple of teams we neglected to mention because they've had an absolutely torrid time in playoffs. But UEA and UWE fortunately never had to cast the two playing each other, but both having had not such a great season, especially in the Newell. UEA barely outside the top 6 over in another UK domestic competition, so they missed out on the playoffs there. Got beaten up by Staffordshire in that losers round 1, despite being last season's finalist and arguably the second or third best team in the country last season.
Yeah, UEA have had a bit of a fall from grace. They tried out with a new roster, did UEA. They replaced Queen Scots with Zortea, and it just didn't really work for them. From inside information I play with, Ant-Man7 as an IEL teammate, and he basically said that despite Zortea being like a very good player, it was, you could either have a good Zortea or you could have a bad Zortea, and it basically just dictated whether UEA were playing well or badly if he was having an on day or an off day. So I think their whole kind of season was catalyzed by that roster change, and it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do going into the winter split, which is miles away right now, all the way in September. But maybe they'll do summer season as well, and they can just kind of try out some new things there. But then, as you say, again, UWE didn't have the best run in this playoff bracket either, dropping 4-2 to Warwick, which, given the UWE's recent form, you would have probably predicted them to win that one. And then 4-3 against the Essex Blades, going to Game 7, and Essex finally overcoming their final game woes to win that series. So yeah, UWE and UEA kind of the big losers in this new playoff bracket.
I think UWE also losing Sebadam at the end of this academic year, the backbone of the UWE side, which will not be helping them whatsoever.
No, I didn't actually know that, which probably means that this will be the best season that I imagine UWE will probably have, unless they have some other professional player.
Bunch of really strong series over the years, but no, I don't think it quite comes close to this. Playoffs in 2 groups, making semis here. We are, however, finally No, never mind. Crimson's not quite ready yet, but in the next minute or so, we will be getting into this series at long last. We know you've been waiting a while for this one, but hopefully, yes, game one of the bracket reset series getting underway.
Yep, and we finally can bring you this series now. Enough from us. We've been talking far too long, and I'm sure everyone just wants to see what is going to happen here, how many games it will be. I'm hoping for a game 7. There's not much to separate the two teams at the moment. 4-2 was the previous scoreline in the previous series if you're just joining us, and now this is the title decider.
Matem's trying to make an early cut there, not going to get it. Crimson playing that one off the back, will probably needed to just go for the shot there, because now Salford are able to make a push upwards. Jiggy and Arten were both ready on the back line. That's a massive block from Matt to stop Jiggy playing that ball too out in the midfield, though. After provided with another opportunity, Crimson's got that ball to the ceiling. Stamina going to tuck that one down. It's dangerous, but Matem can't beat Arten to the touch.
Yeah, Loughborough starting out with a decent bit of offense here already, putting Salford on that back foot, and Aaron unable to clear their. Jiggy only putting it as far as Matem, stuck in their half at the moment are Salford. They might be able to get out with Arten here, but he's only just going to put it into the midfield and give away possession once more. Loughborough looking like they're in control on offense in game 1 at the moment. We haven't really seen it dip into that Loughborough half, and a demolition onto Aaron is going to completely stunt the offense from Salford for the time being.
Crimson bailing out of that one at the last second to stop Matt, but that's left a gaping hole in Loughborough's defense. Crimson diving back to get the block. It's demoed by Arten in the process, but does prevent an early mishap for Loughborough in this series.
Yeah, that is really Loughborough's kryptonite on display there. You know, they put up so much pressure and then didn't come away with a goal, and the kind of desperation of wanting to score led to an overcommit, and as you say, that gaping hole left on defense. Thankfully, the shot was off target. That one is on target and forcing a save out of Arten. Insane angle coming out from Crimson there, not able to connect, and we still look for an opening goal as Crimson on the other side now is going to force a save there. Stamina with a bit of time and space in the corner, but not a lot of boost to his name. See if he can get it around Aaron here. No, the 50-50 going to be met by Crimson. Up in the air, actually getting bumped by somebody there. Someone must have gone up and just taken Crimson out of the way there.
I mean, it was the right play to make to keep her out of play. Crimson, though, is back in now, looking for a shot. Blocked out by Arten. Jiggy playing this one forward, should get a second touch. Sideways wave dash to get back onto it. Matem looking for a block in the midfield, can't get it through Aaron, but can stop it in the midfield.
Yeah, Crimson was the only one alive there for a second, but did really well, and now maybe an overcommit from Salford. Jiggy needs to get back to this one. Thankfully, the ball wasn't on target, and Jiggy is able to take control here in the corner. Gets it past one, and Arten getting it over then. Crimson, who was bumped out of the way there by Jiggy. A bit of chaos unfolding at the moment. The ball was just floated over the Loughborough goal there, but Aaron choosing not to commit on that occasion. Stamina might have a shot, but early challenge from Aaron, although Stamina picks it up off the 50-50, looking for the ceiling shot, but ball bounced a bit too hard off that ceiling. Here comes Crimson, but it's a bit slow and saved well by Salford. Salford, they still look to be on the back foot, but they are holding firm here.
Yeah, definitely a lot better than their first series. I think the last time we had this was game 2 of the series, which Loughborough barely took at the end, but it's still looking like it could go either way. A counter-attack from Salford could be particularly lethal, given Loughborough's track record of leaving holes on defense.
Yeah, bear in mind as well that for the first 3 games in that previous series, which Loughborough forced a bracket reset, Salford didn't really score a meaningful goal, and it is going to be Stamina here, getting Loughborough in the lead with just over 1 minute on the clock. Salford, they now have to come back and score to send us to overtime.
Loughborough camp are going to be hoping and praying that the people in white can hold on to that 1-goal lead. Jiggy can't get the ball past Stamina, so it's going to be Arten playing the ball forward. Jiggy fielding this one towards net. It's dangerous, but Crimson is able to get it out to the side. Stamina trying to follow up. He's still on it. Can he get it past Arten? He can, and it's an awkward touch for Jiggy, but there's not going to be a follow-up. That's around 20 seconds wasted by Loughborough. They need another 50 or so. That ball that's in the midfield, Stamina's got to it. It's back to the corner. What can Aaron do? Not an awful lot. Just going to play it to Crimson. It's back off the corner. Arton missing that ball. The mechanically weaker player, showing his weaknesses. Crimson now on the back line. Going to pick this one up. 35 seconds to hold. Gets a backflip. That's a decent block. Stamina playing it high. Matt M's there and he's going to launch it forward. Aaron with the reply. Jiggy's up. Going to trap this one down. That's a waterfall angle and Stamina gets there just before Jiggy to get the block. Another 15 seconds. Loughborough need to hold for.
Yeah, Salford are probably creating their best chances of the game so far, but when you're taking the ball back into your own half like that and punting it off your backboard, that's not really where you want to be. Arton not able to get the clear. Aaron has to take this full court. It's on the wall. It's still up, but it might drop here, and it does. Loughborough, same as the previous series, gonna take game one once more.
That's going to be a massive sigh of relief for the Loughborough side. They've had leads in series before, of course. They had one, I believe, in their series on Monday, or rather Tuesday against Salford, the one they forced to Game 7. So this is a solid start. They just need to hold this together and keep this if we're going to take the series in a timely fashion.
Yeah, I think the key word for both teams right now is composure. We saw a lack of that from Salford in the previous series for quite a long time. But then after Loughborough took 3 games, they did kind of lose that little bit of composure and allowed Salford to gain some momentum. But again, managed to recompose and take that series. But both teams now, quite scarily, are looking very composed. There were no real glaring mistakes made by Salford in that series. They did look, like a solid version of themselves. But Loughborough are going to get an early kickoff goal here and immediately put Salford on the back foot in game 2.
That's very disappointing from Jiggy. The reactions check coming out from Matt, and all Jiggy did was jump and then aim the wrong order of actions, and it ends up going straight past him.
Yeah, great vision from Matt to see that Jiggy was a bit awkward there, just his car facing sideways on the goal line, and Loughborough, that is going to instill a lot of confidence in them for the rest of this game. Salford, they need to find a comeback and they need to find it quickly, otherwise this pressure is just going to continue to mount and it's going to be more and more nervous for them to try and get that equalizing goal. Jiggy here might get 50-50. Fake challenge from Stamina and actually a very weak touch from Jiggy. Almost gifted Loughborough possession there. A bit of bullying going on in net, but Aaron not able to put the shot on target, and now a slight overcommit. Jiggy finding himself as last man back is just going to put it as far as Matt into the corner now. Stamina up for this one. Oh, Stamina's actually managed to get a touch into the midfield, but I don't think neither Loughborough or Salford were ready for that one.
I was going to say that miss from Aaron was absolutely dire. That's the one part of the play that absolutely has to come through regardless of whether the bump does, and that's putting the ball on target. That left Salford in such a sticky situation with a man committed on the demo and a man committed on a missed ball that left Salford, I think, in a 1v2, and they were lucky to get away with it.
Speaking of bumps and demos, though, there are so many that I've seen so far. Players being demoed on defense, and even when players are going up on offense, they're just being completely bumped out of the way and unable to affect the play in any way after that is happening. And I would say the majority are coming out from Salford, to be honest. It seems like Aaron is of that mind. Oh, Stamina fires one into the crossbar. Can Crimson get there? No. Matt M going to fake a challenge here. All 3 Salford players were in the corner at that one point, but they are able to get rid here and transition onto offense, although another demolition coming out from Matt M is going to allow Loughborough to counter-attack. Maybe Stamina taking this one away from Salford. Can't get back to that with 0 boost, and Salford, they are hanging on by the skin of their teeth right now.
Yeah, Stamina's been going for a lot of flashy ceiling plays, but he needs to remember where his strengths are at. That is on the ground with his super powerful flicks. And if he keeps going for aerial plays and opening up gaps in defense, there's opportunities for Salford to start replying. On this occasion, though, a lot of demos coming out. Loughborough almost coming out on top of that ball. Doesn't quite find the back of the net.
Yeah, demos left, right, and centre in all places of the field. Crimson there, I think, had an open net, but I can't remember who it was that got that demolition, but one of the Salford players just snuck up behind her and boom, off she went and wasn't able to convert that goal. So Loughborough still the 1-goal lead, now the 2-goal lead. Here comes Matt M again with a brace for Loughborough. 2-0, Salford, they're yet to score.
I think that is a misread from Aaron, actually, because he rotated onto what was very quickly becoming the near post. If he takes his time, gets onto the back post, or just starts off by aiming for what was becoming the back post, maybe he has an opportunity. Perhaps was also thrown off by the fact that Jiggy was going for a double touch off the corner, and he totally missed it the second time around.
Bit of pressure coming out from Salford now. Here's Arton with a shot, but immediately blocked out by Stamina. One thing I've noticed that Stamina is doing incredibly well is just cutting across the play and leaving players unsighted as to where he is, like right there. Aaron did not know that challenge was coming. Oh, Arton, well, you said that he wasn't the mechanical player. I think that one might have just shut you up there, as Arton is going to put in an absolute stonker of a double touch.
That was a quality double touch. The placement was good as well. He was fortunate to have an open net, but I think that would have beaten the defender as well.
Definitely Arton coming up clutch there for his team, but it's only half the job done at the moment, as that 2-goal deficit is now a 1-goal deficit, and Salford, they definitely need to try and find another one pretty sharpish, otherwise it is going to be tick-tock on the clock for them.
Yeah, 90 seconds. They've got a while. Not if Stamina puts that one towards the side, and it's a save from Salford. Arton getting a massive block to keep Salford in this one.
But here's Matt M with a slow roller into the bottom right. Matt M has absolutely sniped that shot. Got decent power on it.
Of course it's the slow roller that wins it for them. But why would Stamina's super powerful 150km/h shot get past the Salford defense?
Oh, we do love a good P-roller here at the Newell, and Matt M has placed that one to perfection, and that is a 2-goal lead restored now. Salford, they're needing 2 in just over a minute here, and finding it in their own half like that. Aaron having to half flip just to get that one, and the touch isn't too great from him either. Going to run out of boost at some point, but not before he can get it over the top of the Loughborough midfield there. Jiggy now with a very unfavourable touch. Might be able to get another one here, but Crimson booming that one away. Arton on the back line, able to hold it up for the time being, but I think Matt M is going to sink in his 3rd, maybe even his 4th now. Matt M getting 4 goals. All 4 for Loughborough have been scored by Matt M this game.
Needs to pace himself a little, I think. He doesn't want to be scoring them all now. Need to save a couple for the next time around. Caught Salford there using a little too much boost on plays which weren't ever going to come out. Jiggy used all his boost coming off Loughborough's backboard trying to centre it. When reality is he needs to be getting down to the floor quickly and trying to help out that last man on defence. Because now with 30 seconds left, if we're being realistic, there's a very, very low chance that Salford are going to come back.
Yeah, not in this game, but potentially in the series. You know, I was going to say having a little bit of deja vu here, as Loughborough, they took the previous 2 games in that bracket reset series, and they've taken the first 2 games in this series as well. So if the script is being followed once more, Loughborough should take the next one, and then we should see a momentum shift again, right?
We shall see. This is utterly terrifying right now. Yeah, 2-0 up in a series. I mean, this is, again, a unique position for tonight. We've only done it tonight against this roster. Can they hold it again? I mean, they've got a decent chance. That's a pretty significant lead, if you ask me. Admittedly, it was generated off of Salford doing it to themselves, really, letting the mistakes creep in towards the end, especially as they realised they need to get a lot more goals. If Salford want to come back, they just have to, I think, panic a little less. Let the plays come to them instead of trying to force it, because by forcing the play, they're opening up holes on defense, their offense is getting sloppy, and so Loughborough are starting to capitalise a little more.
Just don't panic, forehead, Salford, is the message from Sigmoid there. And, you know, I have to agree with him. I think Salford play at their best when they're at their most composed, and we've definitely seen them play like that. Even tonight with this roster, which is replacing Camo with Aaron, as we go on to Urban Central now for Game 3. Interestingly, one thing I do want to pick up on, that previous game, I think, was the biggest like scoreline difference that we've seen so far. I don't think that there had been a 3-goal cushion at all. So potentially that could be an omen of things to come for Loughborough.
Loughborough had a 3-goal lead, but they conceded a consolation goal in game 1 of the last series.
This is true, yes.
So yeah, that's the first game to finish with a 3-goal margin. Matem, though, looking to open up early here. Instead is going to try and get a pass out to Crimson, which is blocked by Aaron. 2 players committed, and Loughborough should be looking a little shaky. Crimson blocking that one in the midfield wasn't ideal. Going to have to try and cut a play out from Salford here, despite coming from the wrong direction.
Yeah, a bit of chaos right now. Is that one going to go crossbar down? It is. Matem with the bouncing shot is going to ensure that no Salford player can get to the rebound, and Matem once more opening the scoring for Loughborough.
This is the second time Jiggy has failed a reaction check now. He's supposed to be like a mechanical player, but if he can't handle himself under pressure, this series is over.
Yeah, it's such a tough shot to do, though, you know, when you're retreating back like that and you've got a ball coming over the top, having to get up for that and make that touch. It's a difficult one, and especially, you know, when you're in these high-stakes situations under pressure, it's hard to do. Like, I definitely feel for these players, and I think the more and more that Loughborough begin to take control of this series, the more and more nervous Salford are going to get.
Crimson now catching that one on the back ball. Got it past one. Can't beat Arton, though. Got another side roll in, trying to get it past Arton, but it's not to be. Not this time. Matem, though, he's looking for a follow-up. Going to do a diagonal side roll. Tried to get back onto that ball with a little boost, but can't beat out Aaron. He's going to play the ball longer. Matem taps up in the midfield. Crimson using the boost late, trying to catch up to that ball, but that's a long clear from Arden. Lots of long clears now from both sides.
Yeah, a bit of ping pong going on at the moment. We typically see that in game 1, but here we are in game 3. Bit of a dunk from Art, and they're getting a flip reset as well. It might just end up in the corner. There's 4 players in the corner right now, and nothing is happening. Finally, Crimson coming away with the ball, not able to flip into it and get it over the top. Aaron going to send it nice and high, and that is going to be well received by Stamina. Wasn't able to generate much power onto the shot there. That's a good power on that shot, and a demolition in the midfield. Where is Stamina to take this follow-up shot? Aaron was rushing out of net there to make sure that did not happen, and we remain at 1-0 Loughborough.
Stamina now playing the ball to midfield. Can't make it all the way, though. Crimson picking this one up. Trying to get past Jiggy as well. Gets past Jiggy. Can't beat out Aaron, though. Can't get back onto the ball. But this is still dangerous. Salford looking like they're low on boost. Looking like they're struggling, and Loughborough are already a goal up. This is dangerous.
Oh,
Stamina,
no.
though, that's an unfortunate block. Got that second bump, just stopped in exactly the wrong place.
Yeah, unfortunate. Definitely not something that Stamina had too much control over. Although he had great control over that one. A bit of a breakaway opportunity. Stamina has 100 boost here, looking for Crimson in the midfield, but wasn't really able to find it. That first touch was just a bit too far away from him to be able to get back in control and work that ball around the defense. Great touch from Matem into the midfield, but it's going to be picked up by Jiggy. Stamina off the ceiling with a beautiful challenge. No boost, but might be able to get back to this one. Instead opts to steal that 100 boost away from Salford. And I think that's one thing we haven't really talked about a whole lot, but Loughborough's boost control, you know, I remember even back in my playing days many years ago, I would never ever have any boost against Loughborough. It's something that they do so well.
That being said, a waste boost like that on a double commit could leave Salford an opportunity, and Jiggy, with 60 boosts, is going to get the ball out to Aaron. Crimson, however, shutting that one off in the midfield.
Ooh, shot from Aaron off the crossbar. Double commit from Loughborough, but it is going to work in their favour, and a bit of an open net now. Can Matem put this one away? Yes, Matem cannot stop scoring. 6 goals so far in the previous 2 games alone. This man is an absolute machine.
Yeah, Matt has scored 6 of the last 6 goals. I don't entirely remember who scored in the first game of the series, but that's a pretty impressive shooting stat from someone who's graduating, someone who's leaving this team this year. And someone who's been leading this... Oh.
That's a dunk.
That's a massive dunk from Jiggy, a powerful one, going in at 82, and I think that came off a crossbar beforehand as well. Crimson able to get a touch, played it straight onto Jiggy.
Yeah, Jiggy super speedy there, reading that Crimson was just going to be hitting that ball downwards onto the ground, pre-jumped it, and managed to come up with the goods. And Salford on the board for the first time in this series now in Game 3. Loughborough definitely looking control, but that is exactly what you need if you're Salford at the moment. Although that is not what you need. A demolition onto Art, and there almost
Jiggy tried to get cheeky there.
For them. Can't even see him, completely smoke screened. As Jiggy got the power on the shot, he does, but it is put wide. A triple commit from Loughborough, starting to fall apart a little bit. They just need to hold on for another 20 seconds, and they'll be putting it Salford onto match point. Not the first time this evening, for a second time.
Oh, that's another reactions check, and Arton almost failed it there.
Stamina off the corner. Aaron, not the best touch at all. 10 seconds on the clock. Salford looking for an equaliser, but still being penned in their own half, and it looks like, never mind, I thought Loughborough were going to get another one on the board there, but this ball looking like it's going to hit the floor. Never mind.
On the board. It's not over Salford, just yet. Crimson looking for a block. Matt M getting out to the side, still in the air, still catchable by Salford. They've got it. They've still got it. Matt M, though, just going to fire that one at the ground, and Loughborough in the bracket reset have found match point. They have 4 opportunities to close out this series.
Yeah, it was pandemonium there for Salford on 0 seconds. Every single player wanted to be the one trying to keep that ball up, and in the end, none of them did. I think that's just kind of been the story of Salford so far. You know, they're all trying their hardest, but it's not quite coming together for them. They're just not quite on the same wavelength, whereas Loughborough, you know, they had a few shaky moments the first series, and I will say that those shaky moments did come at this exact point where we found ourselves with Loughborough 3 games up on sweep point, and then Salford went into top gear and started to really pressure them and took those 2 games on the bounce. So Loughborough, let's see if they've learned from their mistakes and if they can take this series in a sweep.
Yeah, I can see Kizzer on the production desk right now looking rather depressed. He's leaning
is he
a long
like this?
way back. No, he's leaning a long way back in his chair. If he went any further, that chair would topple over.
Oh dear.
We, however, are going to be moving on to Game 4 in this final series. What would be an unprecedented scoreline if Loughborough were to close this one out right here, right now.
Yeah, it really would be if they were able to sweep after a hard-fought bracket reset. And I think if Loughborough once more get the first goal, I think that's a statement of intent. Aaron in the OG Batmobile. I don't know if that's his main car or whether he's just decided that he has given up and is just going to try and have fun with this series. But you never know. Maybe 4 wheels are better.
I believe
6
it's the
wheels
same
are better than 4.
hitbox.
It's off the post and across the face of goal. Salford had the opportunity to get the opening goal. Yeah, I've seen it so many times. You are completely right, where they've had the perfect opportunity to get an opening goal or an equalising goal or what have you, and it's just been absolutely squandered.
Yeah, Crimson going up, but realises at the last second she doesn't want to make the same that Matt made last time around, does not want to hit that ball backwards into her own net. And so the scoreline remains at 0-0 with Loughborough maintaining its pressure. Matt M up to the backboard. Aaron playing it long. Crimson's going to make the catch in the midfield. That's gone to the backboard as well. And Arton's weak clear should provide an opportunity. Crimson to stamina, and it's gone sideways. This is an awkward play now for Loughborough.
Yeah, but they've managed to deal with it for the time being, although that pinch from Aaron, very unpredictable. That could have gone absolutely anywhere. Crimson has got control in the corner, but not for long. Jiggy just throwing himself at that one. Matt M able to get another touch and another 2 touches here, just completely blowing the defense wide open with that one air dribble there. Arton doesn't have enough boost to reach this. Oh, yes, he does. He might be able to get a decent enough clear. It's over the top of Crimson at the very least and not able to get the block. Aaron now with a much more booming clear, but only as far as Crimson. Here comes Matt M again. Double commit from Salford, but it is going to pinch high and find stamina in the midfield. Aaron up high. Crimson trying to just force this one back into the Salford half for the time being. That's a dangerous ball, but Salford, they're absorbing the pressure pretty well right now.
They are, and I think they might... No, Aaron's bailed out of that one. The third man phobia of going up comes through.
Wait.
And it may have a crucial bump coming out from Salford there as Crimson wasn't able to get the finish because she just wasn't there. She'd been punted out the way. Halfway through the game 4 now, and the scoreline's still tied. If history serves us, that means Loughborough have a significant advantage right now. Have been looking stronger as the sequence of play gets longer. Jiggy, though, looking to break that curse, but blocked by Crimson on the goal line and cleared by the Queen of WCBC.
Yeah, Crimson did very well there, getting that initial block in, landing on that backboard and getting the clear as well. So Crimson having a great game 4 right now. That was almost disaster there as Crimson just shot that one into Matt M, who was on the sidewall. Could have very easily gone in. Arton now with a shot, stamina to make the save and keep things scoreless here as Loughborough, they're looking for that opening goal. They want to finish this in a sweep and make a statement to Salford, who have been the bane of their lives all season. Here comes Matt M. Can he put this one on target? Yes, he can. Matt M. opening goal once more, and Salford, they need to come back here in game 4.
This is kind of obvious because Loughborough have won every game this series, but Loughborough have not choked to lead this series, and I'm hard-pressed to think of a time they did it last series as well, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right, and they're going to get a second goal here. And guess who it is once more? Matt M with another brace in game 4. The veteran showing his experience, showing why he is the most decorated UK University Rocket League player ever.
The only thing running through my head right now is it's actually happening. We've been waiting for several weeks for Loughborough to finally look like they can beat Salford, and finally with a 4-1, and if they can hold this, a 4-0 against Salford, they can finally prove it.
Yeah, they have the best opportunity to prove it right now as Salford. They haven't really looked like scoring all series. They definitely don't look like scoring at the moment, as Jiggy is just going to have to chase this one, and it's put up high. Crimson might be able to get a touch, not able to make contact there, although Aaron with a huge whiff, showing the cracks in Salford's defense right now. They're really struggling against Loughborough. Aaron, if he can sink this double tap, it might restore some confidence, but not going to find it on that occasion. Jiggy with a bit of control here, not able to flip that one into the midfield, and dealt with pretty easily by Crimson. 45 seconds left for Salford to find 2 and keep themselves in it, and if Loughborough score another one, then I think that is game, set and match.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. Loughborough, they've won every domestic competition for Rocket League so far this year. This, just another trophy in the collection to them. But they're going to try and finish in style. Stamina out to Crimson with 19 seconds left. It's all but over. A 3-goal margin is surely unassailable now.
Yeah, well, it wasn't Madden that time. Crimson getting herself one on the board, and I think, as you say, done and dusted. Job well done by Loughborough. I think that we are only several seconds away from crowning the Newell Split champions at this point. Loughborough, they looked so good in the first series. They had a slight wobble, but they've definitely recovered from that in this bracket reset series now. Salford, fair play to them. They did fight hard. They are going to get a consolation goal here, but as the clock hits 0 seconds, we are going to be crowning Loughborough as your spring split champions for the Newell.
This is mad. I mean, well played to Loughborough, but this is a total collapse of Salford. The order, as we know of in Rocket League, has been utterly shattered this evening by an incredibly strong Loughborough roster.
Absolutely. I find myself asking the question, would it have been different if Camo had played? I don't know the answer to that question. We are going to find out, but not tonight, obviously. That will be in a couple of days' time. But, I mean, for this series, you know, Loughborough really managed to overcome. I guess total, if we talk about total games in the whole bracket reset, it would have been 8-2 to Loughborough.
8-1, was it not? Oh yes, of course.
No,
We got 2 last time. I didn't remember. I got pretty close to my prediction last time, and I got pretty close once again. I'm still speechless. We're gonna take a bit of a break so we can get our interviewee here. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Hello again, everyone. I hope you've been having a good evening watching all this Rocket League action. We have got all three Loughborough players with us for one final interview of the evening. I'm still joined by Orion. Orion, do you want to open questions this time?
Yeah, well, was that what you guys were expecting coming into that grand final, or did you think that things were going to go differently?
Well, just to kick things off, I don't think we knew what to expect because Salford switch up their roster like every other day, so we didn't know what roster we were going to be facing coming into it. Obviously, they normally play with Camo and NSC, Aaron and Newell, I think. I'm not really sure exactly what their main roster's meant to be, but yeah, they're obviously a very good team still. We knew it was going to be tough. I think the momentum with the bracket reset is just like super strong, and like they started coming back into it a bit in the first series, but I think when they lost it, and especially with the break, they just seemed to be really cold coming back into the second series, and then yeah, they never really kind of picked it up in the second series.
So this is now your third title of the year. You've just proven that you can't really be stopped in the Newell. You've now got two very difficult series on Tuesday. How are you feeling, and how do you think it's going to go?
Go on, Stam, you take this one.
We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. If we turn up like last time and beat Bournemouth, then who knows? We might win it again.
That momentum, right? Like, especially if we beat Bournemouth, we're gonna come into that feeling like so confident. Even though we've lost to Salford twice with our roster, like last time we kept it close. So yeah, I think we definitely played a good enough level last time to 4-3 is obviously very close. So I think we're feeling confident. We just have to make all our plays on the day. We just have to see how it goes. But Bournemouth obviously can't be underestimated. They're a very strong side. I don't think we've seen the best of them yet. So we'll see if they turn up on the day as well.
Well, you've come quite a long way now. Have the three of you. This is, like I said, the third of 4 titles. What do you attribute it to, and do you want to give any shout outs to people that have helped you along the way?
I don't know. I think we don't play selfishly. We win as a team. We do everything as a team. I feel like that is a huge attribution to the success we've had in Rocket League specifically. I think altogether, when we play and we give each other options and we're solid in our touches and what we do, we're very difficult. We're a very difficult side to beat. I don't really have any shout outs, but I can't speak for the other two.
Tom Super Sub.
kind of toxic.
Granted, granted, Tom did play a couple of series for you in Mule.
That is true. And didn't lose one.
True. Anyone else wanna add to that?
Well, all I want to say is that everyone needs to go to nse.gg and vote Sam for Monster Plays.
Okay, cool. Wrong stream, but we'll run with it. Yeah, that happened. I guess to close, Matt, you graduated at the end of this year.
I do.
You've left a pretty huge legacy behind. Is there anything you want to say to perhaps the people starting next year, or the people who are at the start of their University Rocket League time?
Oh man. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. First off, come get involved. We have a really good community, in the in NSE and Newell and the University 6-man server. So obviously, come get involved. Is the first thing I'd say. And it's also, don't worry about what rank you are, because over my time, myself and also other people, I've seen them go, all the way from plat or diamond all the way up to, GC, high GC. So, you can always, achieve a lot over the years if you, put the time in and you have the right approach to the game. So yeah, just come get involved. It's good fun.
Cool. Thanks for your time, Love the Lions. We will see you at some point in the future. We're going to have to end what has been a wonderful week of Mule finals, from Dota to Valorant, from Overwatch to Rocket League. I've been Sigmoid. Joining me has been Ryan. Kiz has been on production, and AJ has been in the background. See you all next time. Goodbye.